I'm so freaking excited. This is gonna be so fucking awesome. This is a before image of a young naive girl who had absolutely no idea what she was signing herself up for by watching this movie, that of which you're about to find out in 3, 2. Because it was just so surreal. Telling me to fight like that. Hiya. What is up, guys? This is a before image. You see her? You see me? You see me? This is the before image. I don't know what the after image is gonna look like, and I'm scared to know, which is why I'm filming the before. In about an hour and like 6 minutes, if my alarm is correct with the timing, I'm going to see the HAIKYUU movie, the battle of the dumpster, like the dumpster battle. That it has been almost a year since I can confidently say that HAIKYUU is my hyperfixation. It was overshadowed when I got into One Piece, and then One Piece was overshadowed by Hazbin Hotel, and now all of a sudden there's a HAIKYUU movie coming out, so I'm like, oh! So I've been reading fan fiction and consuming TikToks, and I even went back to the dance animations, okay? I went back to my roots to try and get back into HAIKYUU like I used to be, okay? The tattoo? The legitimate fucking HAIKYUU tattoo that I have, because HAIKYUU was my one and only show for like 3 fucking years. It's opening day today, and I'm gonna go see it. I'm really fucking nervous. I'm like binge watching it right now because I'm so fucking like, ah! Anyway, I'm so freaking excited. This is gonna be so fucking awesome. I'm gonna go film myself getting ready and probably post it on TikTok and not here, because that's not what you clicked on this video for. You clicked on this video for a review. I will see you later.
A few moments later.
Okay, I'm on my way to see the movie now. I always feel like such a buffoon when I go outside with like makeup on, because I don't wear makeup like that, so when I do, it's kind of like odd. But I'm like super fucking nervous. People are looking at me like I'm insane because like, but like, just look at these earrings I bought. I got them because I thought I might do like a Valentino cosplay one day, but I felt they like fit the mood with like the gold and like red, like the purse. Like I thought they'd fit the mood. Besides like this eye, if I cover this eye up, it looks like I clearly, like it looks like I want a certain team to win, but I promise I don't. I have zero clue who's gonna win this. I've stayed away from like manga spoilers, everything, because I just have never wanted to know, because I wanted to wait until 4 episodes or something came out. Obviously we got a movie, which is fine, but I'm super fucking nervous because either way, either like Daichi and like Suga are done playing, because in the time skip they don't play, they don't go pro, or like Kuru and Yaku are done playing. Oh well, Yaku goes pro, so that's okay, but Kuru doesn't. Yeah, he works at JVA, but it's not the same. Like after this, Kuru's kind of like done and he's graduating, and then Kenma's gonna be left all by himself for a year. That's okay. I'm gonna speed walk because I'm almost late.
2 hours later.
It's after the movie. I rushed home. I stopped to McDonald's for a frap. We have a lot to talk about. I'm literally still in hair, makeup, outfit, everything, because I literally ran upstairs and set everything up. I set up my mic, I set up my camera, I set up all the lights, everything. Hindsight, I should have done that before I left for the movie because I knew I was gonna film beforehand, but that's not what I did. There was so much information to consume in that movie. I was rushing because I didn't want to forget anything. I should have brought a little notepad or something, but I just didn't think it was going to be that much. I'm literally still in my fucking sneakers. I'm gonna do my very absolute best to run things down in like a chronological sort of like order, because there's just so much to talk about. First things first, let me just say, for 3 years, starting in like 2019, it got really bad in 2020, I had my HAIKYUU phase, and it lasted for 3 years. It wasn't until like last year that I, found something that, interested me more than HAIKYUU. HAIKYUU is my hyperfixation because I couldn't find anything else to hyperfixate on in all of the time that I, was into it. The fan fiction, the TikToks, like it was just so easy to be consumed by HAIKYUU for so long that when I finally found something that took up more space in my brain than that, it was One Piece, because One Piece is just so long. It was like, you have to put all your time and energy into this, otherwise you're gonna fall off. And I really wanted to finish One Piece for some reason. I didn't, obviously, but it did take up like the HAIKYUU space in my brain. And then the next hyperfixation after One Piece was Has Been Hotel. So I knew going into this that it was going to be a battle of the hyperfixations, because HAIKYUU was the original hyperfixation and Has Been Hotel is the current one. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and I was like, man, I don't know which one is gonna win out, because HAIKYUU is my OG. I literally have a tattoo, but Has Been, it's been consuming me. So I'm like, man, I don't know if anything is going to. HAIKYUU won. The movie was so good. It was just so fucking good. It was so good. I don't know how to feel or what to do or like what to, I'm having a hard time existing. Let's try to make sense of this and break it down. I am gonna have to go watch it again because there was just a lot to talk about. If you have not seen the HAIKYUU movie yet, do not watch this video. I will not be held responsible for spoiling anything for you. This video will have spoilers. I'm gonna talk about who won. I'm gonna talk about every single play of every single moment of the match. If you have not seen it and you continue to watch beyond this point, you did it to yourself. I cannot be blamed. You did that to you. Live with that. Let's start with, I can't even like put pictures or anything because the movie literally just came out today and there's like zero digital evidence of anything. So we're all just gonna have to go off of our mind's eye and just recall what's going on. Maybe I'll make another one of these after like it's on Crunchyroll or something. But let's just go off of like brain memory for right now. First thing that I really remember, Kenma waking up in the beginning. First of all, this movie was so Kenma centric. Like, I don't know if it's like just me, but I was expecting, our usual like Kanata steals the show because it's, his anime basically. But like Karasuno was the movie was really balanced, I'll say. The movie was really, really balanced, but Kenma definitely stole the show. Like, we didn't get as much Hinata as we usually do. And I'm not complaining about that. I just thought it was kind of weird. But again, I'm not even upset. Starting from the beginning of the movie with Kenma and his hair, like, come on. Yamamoto having to go wake him up and being like, Kenma, like, seriously, get up, let's go. They're just so sweet. They're so stinking sweet. They're so stinking cute. I love that. And then Kenma walked downstairs with his hair all messy or whatever. Like, they're so cute. Next big takeaway that I had, when we got like the flashback, we got to remember Kenma and Hinata's first meeting. That was cute to see, like, just a tiny bit more. Like, I feel like we mostly got exactly what we saw when we first watched it, but just to get like a little bit more detail into like what Kenma was thinking, and then later on what Kuru was seeing and what he was listening to, and his reaction was listening to like Kenma talking to this stranger for the first time, and him being like, Kenma, like, you don't usually interact with strangers, like, that's weird, what are you talking about? It was odd, and I liked it. I liked that we got just a little tiny bit more depth on that one. That was great. Okay, next I want to talk about like the rallying that was going on between everybody. Like, I wholly think it's because every other team that we've faced thus far, we as in like home team, like Karasuno, every team that has been faced thus far has been kind of new. We've only played with Nakoma in like practice matches, which is, the whole big thing with Kenma and Hinata being like, we want to play in a match where there is no rematch. Like, we're going to take that shit seriously. But every other team has been like, this is the first time we're seeing you. We have to learn how you play. We have to learn your characters. Like, who's going to be like, your plan B? Like, who's going to come in like in the middle of the fourth match when like we're rallying and like everybody's tired. And this is like the ace up your sleeve. Like, we don't know any of that about all the other teams. We know just about like everything there is to know about Nakoma because we've practiced with them so much. Like, everybody is like not friends, but like everybody's built some kind of like relationship with somebody on that team, and that was so absolutely darling to see. that was really cute to see, like, in an actual match, because there was no, like, it makes me think about our first match in the Nationals with the Mia twins. It was so nerve-wracking. It was so, like, titty twisting. It was like, oh my god, like, they're learning their moves. Like, these are new people. They're twins. Like, they can both set and spike. Like, this is crazy, because we knew nothing about them. We still ended up winning, but we knew nothing about them at the time, so it was really stressful. When we played in, you know, the preliminary matches, when we played against Alba Josai, when we played against Shiratori Zawa, it was like, you know, Alba Josai maybe, because we played like a practice match, or, you know, against them way back when, but Oikawa wasn't with them then, so it was still kind of like, we don't know how you play until we play against you. Same with Shiratori Zawa. It was like, we know nothing about you except for the fact that you're left-handed and you're a big bitch. So, like, what the fuck are we supposed to do with that? Nakoma, like, we know you. And that made for such excellent gameplay, because there was no animosity. It was simply just, this is like the battle of, like, the garbage dump. Like, we know each other. We have, like, this, like, rivalry, like, frenemies thing going on. It was so cute. From the moment that Kuru and Daichi shook hands, or like their gorilla grip, I knew it was gonna be a good match. I knew it. I had my doubts, but I knew from that moment. It was just so sweet and so cute, because they knew each other. It was like a battle amongst old friends. So it was like, I know where you were last time I saw you, so the only things that are new was like, you know, how far you've improved since the last time I saw you, but you're not a new person. This is not a new team. Your energy is not different. I know how to play against you. The next thing I really want to address is Kenma. I already mentioned that Kenma, like, stole the movie. He stole the show. But I really, really liked this newer side that we got to see to Kenma, because we already knew Kenma's, like, the brain of the team. We already know that Kenma's, like, super smart. It's just been, like, an objective fact, but this movie, we got to really, really see that. And I am so beyond proud of him as just, like, a person, as a Kenma Kinney, like, way down the line. I'm so proud of our little baby, because first of all, he didn't get benched one time the entire game. Are we not going to talk about I'm having so much fun? What? This is what I mean when I say I have no words, because it was just so surreal. There are so many emotions. There were so many times throughout the movie where I almost cried, just because the music was loud, the feelings were intense. Everything was so intense for my little girl emotions to, like, handle. Okay. Kenma's strategy, if that was the first piece of HAIKYUU media you've ever consumed in your life, you would have thought Kenma was the captain. The way that Kuru just, like, took the back seat, like, completely took the back seat. And when he tried to, like, give advice, Kenma was like, I already said that. Like, Kenma was so strategic. He was so smart. He planned out everything. He was a bit of an asshole. There was a moment where I was like, all right, Kenma, you could chill out now. Like, you could calm down. He was kind of creepy. He was kind of scary. I was like, who is this Kenma that we're currently seeing? I don't know you. I can acknowledge that you're here, and I can acknowledge that, like, this legendary beast has been somewhere within you, but I don't know you. And I'm so interested to know who you are. And throughout the entire movie, he just kept surprising me. Like, Kenma was back to back to back, like, showing me new things about him, and I loved it. It was so exciting. It was so fun. He was having fun. It wasn't just, I'm playing volleyball because this is what I do. It wasn't like, whether we win or lose, like, I don't care what happens. He was genuinely trying to beat Shoyo's ass. And then the part where Kuru was like, you ripped his wings off, and now you're sad that he can't fly anymore. I was like, Kenma, what is your problem? You were so hyped to, like, crush Hinata's spirits, and then you thought you did, because you clearly didn't, but you thought you did, and then you got upset. Why? Because you were waiting for him to surpass your expectations like he always does. That's why you like him. That's why you're so drawn to him. That's why you're friends. That's why he's interesting to you. And he was like, keep being interesting. That was creepy. That was creepy as fuck. because everything got silent. The way that they did it, you can tell that the last piece of HAIKYUU media that was created was back before 2020, because the way that it was animated like was exactly the same, but the way that certain things were, I'll get into it later, but the way that certain things were drawn, the way that like the camera angles were, the way that things moved, it was weird. It was weird, but it was great. Like, there's so much to play around with on the volleyball field that the animators just were not taking advantage of before, because they didn't know that it would be accepted. And now that there's so much weird, like crazy media out a couple years later, they were able to really play around with it. And I really, really like that. But I got sidetracked. Going back, when everything was just, happening, and Kenma was like, Shoyo, and then he was like, and then everything got quiet. He was like, keep being interesting. And Hinata just like based her instincts, like jump back, like, fuck's going on? I don't fuck with that. There was some weird animalistic tension right there. That was like the cat scratching at the crow. That was like, I'm back up. My animal instincts are telling me to fight. Like that. Hiya. I stay back, that was what that was giving, and that was really creepy. The part where they had like the knives against each other's throat, the part where like Kenma had him in like the cage and he was like 10 feet fucking tall, like Kenma was so fucking creepy, and that's part of like the appeal. I loved it because that's not a side of Kenma we usually see ever. The fact that everybody was like, Kenma can move, and Kageyama was like, you can actually move fast. And Kenma was like, well, yeah, I'm alive. I love that for him. I really, really, truly do. I mean, good job, Kenma. You ate that shit up. Whole movie. Whole fucking movie. Whole game. You ate that shit up. You were tired. You were exhausted. You were face down, ass up on the floor. Like, I'm having fun. Kenma stole the show. He had so much character development from what we've usually seen from him. I'm so proud of him. And I like the way that they did that. I like that it wasn't, Hinata central. It was Kenma centric. That was super fun. Okay, God, before I forget every single plot point revolving around this. Shippers? Any shipper who watched the movie, we were eating good. We were eating so fucking good. Not even to talk about all of the Kuroken that was like, there. The flashbacks, him thanking Kuru for like teaching him how to play volleyball at the end, and Kuru got all teary-eyed, and when Kenma literally said that he fell for Kuru's charms. Hello? We're just gonna pretend like that wasn't him coming out of the closet, that wasn't admittance to being a homo? Join the club, baby, please. That was literally everybody's Kuroken fantasies coming to life. I don't know if the creator, if Furudate was just like, I saw what happened in 2020. I see what you people do on the tickety talks. I see what y'all do on the internet. Have a little taste. I don't know if that's what happened, but I was sensing a lot of homoerotic tendencies from like the characters in this movie. And not even just like from a shipper's point of view where like I'll find any way to ship anybody. I was watching the movie like genuinely interested in the plot, like genuinely like what is going on, and then I just see some gay shit and I'm like, whoa, are you doing this on purpose? Like, are you doing this to tease us? Obviously the Kuroken, that was everywhere. But there was a moment also with like Kagehina where like Hinata said something, or one of them said something, and there was a look that was exchanged, and then Hinata was like complimenting Kageyama a lot, and Kageyama was just like stop. I was like, okay. What really, really got me, there was a part where they were like talking, and this was just like one of those like Passover like scenes where there's a lot of things happening, but you're supposed to be focusing on the words. I see Lev doing push-ups and Yaku literally sitting crisscross applesauce on his back, coaching him on his push-ups. Pardon fucking me. And then for all you multi-shippers out there, okay, there was the part where Yaku like literally stomped Kuru's back in. I was like, whoa there, buddy. Y'all are going kind of berserk over there. Calm the fuck down. And then I don't ship this. Never in a million years would I ship this. But you Kurusuki shippers were eating full fucking buffet, and I know you were. I don't ship it at all. Like, if anything, they have like that mentor, like, junior kind of cutesiness going on. He has that with Bo too. Like it's cute. But you people who ship them together, eating fucking good. The way that they were like talking to each other through the net, and Kuru was like, can you just fucking stop? Okay, it wouldn't be going on this long if you would just fucking chill out. And Suki was like, Kuru, I'm just saying this wouldn't be going on so long if you would just calm down, chill out. And then he was like, it's a pleasure working with you. And Kuru was like, the pleasure's all mine. And he walked away. Like, I don't ship it. I don't. No. But for all of you who do, I can understand that y'all were going, Pharaoh. Even you Daichi Kuru shippers. The people who ship Yaku and Noya, like, anybody who ships anybody in HAIKYUU that involves Nakoma and Karasuno, we were eating, and we will be eating for days, months, years. So that's how long it's going to take for the next movie to come out. The shippers were eating good that whole time. This just popped into my head, and I don't want to forget it, so I'm just going to address it now, even though it's out of order. Grandpapa Yukai? My heart goes out to that old man, because he had the little Oikawa baby and the little like Matsun baby with him in his hospital bed. First of all, I don't know why you're in the hospital. Maybe I missed that part back in I recall there being a conversation between Yukai and like Grandpappy Yukai like at the end of season 4, but I don't recall what they were talking about. It really wasn't relevant after like the win against Inarizaki to me. But why are you in the hospital, Grandpappy? Do better. Get better. Can't have you dying on us. I am not supporting that. I do not support Yukai death. No. Either way, him watching the whole game in the hospital, like, you got these little baby kids. Where are their parents? I don't fucking know. Even the nurse behind you watching the whole match. Girl, don't you have work to be doing? I get it, but sis, do your job. And he was like, this is not my match. This is their match. They have no idea about they know of the rivalry, but they weren't there. So there was no reason for me to be there. Like, that's their match. And then at the end, where like Yukai went to go shake Nikamata's hand and he just held his hand out to the TV screen, I was already crying. But if I wasn't, that would have gotten me. That was so wholesome and like sad at the same time. All right, next we're circling back to Kenma, because again, the majority of this movie was him, but we're gonna hit two things. First, we're gonna go with the flashbacks that he was having, like towards the end. Also, can we talk about the fact that I didn't know when it was gonna end? Because the entire third set, the camera did not pan to the scoreboard one time. It was barely panning to the scoreboard in the first two sets. But the third set, there was literally nothing for me to be able to tell who was winning the whole time. So when everything was just weird and weird, we're gonna get to it. And Hinata's like, what? And Kageyama's like, it's over, dumbass. I was like, what's over? Who won? What are we talking about right now? And then it shows the scoreboard, and I was like, what? When did that happen? Literally, when did that happen? Kenma's flashbacks. We've already seen like one clip of Kuru and Kenma when they were kids. We've already seen it, where he was like, Kenma, like, let's go play volleyball. And that was like Kenma's his little segment of like, how he got into volleyball. But to see Kuru repeatedly every single day coming back to Kenma's house, like, volleyball, let's play volleyball. I want to play volleyball. Let's go play volleyball. It's raining. I brought over a volleyball tape. Like, and then to see Kenma's slow progression into getting interested in volleyball because of Kuru. Come on. They're so cute. And then the one scene where Kuru literally busted into his room and Ken was like ass out, like in his fucking underwear getting changed. And Kuru was like, volleyball. And Ken was like, okay. Rude ass fucking sirens. Shh. Ken was literally ass out to the world. And Kuru was like, volleyball? And then to see that Coach Nakamata knew them when they were babies, that puts a whole new spin on like everything revolving around Nakoma. Because they seem really tight-knit, but so does Karasuno. But to know that Nakamata knew Kuru and Kenma like when they were babies and they were coming up to, I guess, Nakoma, because they might have been having like like a training session or like a teaching, like a youth group kind of session going on, I guess. To know that he was around for that and that he knew them when they were like nowhere near the high school circuit just brings warmth and joy to my cold, undead soul. It's just so sweet. It's so ridiculously sweet, so ridiculously cute. I'm in love with everything about that. And then Kuru, them trying, and he was like, wow. And I don't think it was Nekomata, but like the guy was like, are you just gonna watch or do you want to play? And Kuru was like, I want to play. And then they were trying, and then Kenma was like, don't you want to do that? And Kuru was like, wow, spiking, that looks so cool, but you have to be tall to do that. And then Nekomata's like, we could just lower the net a little bit for you, bud. I think it's better to have fun learning as opposed to just waiting to do it until you can actually do it because you're tall. And then Kuru just trying over and over and over again and failing. I was like, oh my god, bub, please, I'm so sorry, do better. And then he finally got it, and he did his little tiptoe away. He's so cute. He's so cute. Adorable. And then don't even get me started on Kenma's literal father. This is like one of the first parents in HAIKYUU that we've seen. It might be the first HAIKYUU parent that we've ever seen a mere morsel of. And he was like, can you please take Kenma to go play soccer with you? First of all, leave that baby alone. Imagine trying to bribe his friend to take him outside. That's crazy. That's absurd. I love that, but that's absurd. And Kuru's like, if he even showed like an inkling of wanting to go, I would take him, but I don't think he wants to. And when he does find something that he wants to do, he's gonna be really good at it. Y'all have always been in love. The amount of Kuroken fan fictions that I'm about to consume is downright atrocious. You should be concerned for me. But also, please do the same. Like, if I wasn't already a shipper, I would be so wholly convinced that these boys are homosexuals. I mean, when your ass is that tight in those shorts, it just kind of, my boys. My sweet, sweet volleyball boys. I totally forgot to mention this part when we were talking about the ships. Yamaguchi, when he went to go do his little float serve, and Tsukishima walked up to the net and he was talking all that shit. And Kuru was like, I forgot what he said. He said something about him stealing the show or like something about him doing something. And I thought he was talking about Hinata. And I was like, what? What are we talking about? And then Tsukishima's face, because of Tsukishima's face, I knew he wasn't talking about Hinata because the reaction would have been more violent. But the fact that he was like, hey, I don't know. But, this guy over here, he's got it going on. And then it unblurs and I see Yamaguchi in the back and he gets his little floater in. I said, yes. Yes, baby. Yes, you fucking did that. You fucking did that. The amount of progress. I'm not a huge Yamaguchi fan just because he's a byproduct of Tsukishima and he's not like a main character. He's just like, a side character who has some growth occasionally. His hair is also green and I hate the color green. But that baby had some fucking growth. Good for you, bub. Good for fucking you. You scored 2 entire points in a row before you guys sent back to the bench. Period. As you fucking should. Anyway, back to Kenma because there's just so much fucking Kenma. The flashbacks. Chef's fucking... I didn't mean to actually kiss my mic. I thought I was just gonna... My eyes were closed. Anyway, they were great. They were just... They gave so much background and so much information that we would have never gotten otherwise. I'm so happy that that's something that we got. Next thing I want to talk about revolving around Kenma. What the fuck was that weird ass first person point of view that was going on for like a good 2 minutes straight? I thought I was going to pass out. I was like hyperventilating. Like I was actually there. I was like, oh my God, I can't breathe. What is going on? And Ken was just looking around and the ball was just doing like these weird things. And I'm like, whoa. There's a lot happening right now. And if this is what Kenma sees, I deadass thought he was going to pass out. Like, I thought it was over for him. I was like, they're going to show. And then he got hit by Yamamoto. And he just got bumped in the shoulder. And, like, the view just... And he was like, Kenma, are you okay? I thought Kenma was done for. Like, I thought he was going to have to call it. And I was like, whoa. Because I also didn't know, like, where they were in the match. So I was like, this is where Kenma gets benched. Because why has he been playing for this long? I'm so proud of you. But, like, also, are you good? Have you drunk water? Like, are you okay? Because, Kenma, you usually don't last this long. Like, I know you're having fun, but you still got to take care of yourself. So I was stressed. I was stressed. Like, I genuinely did not think he was going to make it out of there. And it was so stressful to see. And then things started getting all hazy. And then it went, like, the flashback to, like, a training camp. But it just, like, panned and showed, like, everybody. And then seamlessly phased back into the current, like, the present moment. It did that a lot, actually. I noticed it did that a lot, where it would phase to, like, a flashback. And then seamlessly line up with whatever was going on in the moment. Which was beautiful. Beautiful. I fucking love it. Again, the gay. There was a scene, I don't remember what exactly was happening, but like Kenma was saying something and it was a flashback of him and Kuro, and he was like, oh, something, but you know, I wouldn't have liked it if he was clearly going to say something about Kuro again after he already said that he fell for like his charm. You know, he was going to say something about Kuro, and he like was going to reach up and like grab his hand, but then it phased back to reality where Kuro was just like looking over him. And whew, let's finally talk about what we're all here to fucking talk about. I'm sure I'm forgetting some things. If I am, please let me know in the comments so we can talk about it, because there's just so much. There's just so much to fucking consume here. I think I hit all the points that I needed to hit. If I finish and I'm editing this video and I forgot something, I'll record it and just slip it in here. I don't know. Before we talk about the end, Mommy Elisa, I saw you the whole time. Mommy Psycho, I saw you the whole time. I see you. I acknowledge you. Also, before we talk about the end, Tando. I was hoping for a little bit of Oikawa content, but I understand that we're not going to get that because we got that with like the Inarizaki match. Like, I understand nobody else is going to pop up, but I was expecting to see a little bit of like Seijo. Maybe, but you know, Tendi and Crooked Bangs, Dora, look at ass. I could have done without him, but Tendi, that was cute. That was fucking cute. The way that he was just like, oh my god, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're gonna fucking lose. Go, guys. And then he was like, actually, I don't really care, but... And Goshiki is just like, why couldn't he have watched this by himself? I'm not sure why they chose to showcase those two specifically watching, or like, I mean, they had to keep up with the pattern of like Daisho and Mika and like the audience, because that was there like in the 4th season that had to be slipped in there. Just like Bo and Akashi on the sidelines, they were so cute. I don't know if I talked about this already, but when Yachi was like, oh my god, like what's going on? Like they're gonna lose, like they worked so hard, and Bokuto was like, no, don't say that. Don't say that. You gotta acknowledge how far they've grown. You gotta acknowledge what's going on in the present. Don't think about the future. And Akashi, first of all, and then the ball whipped past Yachi, and Akashi just caught that shit and was like, Bokuto, you're being too harsh. I don't like Akashi. I'm not going over this again. I dislike Akashi. But damn, that was smooth. And then Bo, also, before they like went over to where Yachi was standing and then just stayed there for the rest of the game, he was like, I think it was when Kuro was... He was like antagonizing Suki like across the net, and Akashi was like, he's probably saying something to intimidate him, and Bokuto was like, nah, don't let him win, kick his ass, Tsukishima. And then Suki did some shit, and Bo was like, oh my god, like, Akashi, look at our Suki go. And Akashi was like, you know he's not on our team, right? That's why I don't like him. Sarcastic ass. Let Bo be happy. God damn. Okay, now I think we can talk about the ending. Again, there was no keeping track of the score, so I had no clue when it was going to end. Everything was just a clusterfuck of flashbacks and first-person point of views and the rallying back and forth, because you never know when the ball's going to fucking drop, and you're like, it was just a lot. So it also was like really anticlimactic. Like something stupid happened, I think. It wasn't even like a big finishing move. Like that could have been a move that happened like in the middle of the game. There was like nothing dramatic about the way it ended. It was so nonchalant. I was like, is this a joke? Are you kidding? Are you for real? Or is this a joke? And then it panned up at the scoreboard, and I said, oh, okay, I can work with that. They won. Yippee. Left eye it is. I didn't even start crying yet because I was waiting for something to make me cry. Like when Seijo lost, and then there was like that little OVA part where the 30s were all playing in the gym, and then Oikawa was like, thank you guys for the last 3 years. And then they all started crying because they lost and they knew they'd never play together again. Like, that broke my heart. That broke my heart and it broke my spirits. And it made me bawl. And I'm sitting there like, okay, so Kuru, Yaku, and Kai are the third years who are retiring now. Okay. I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen to one team. I know that objectively. And I'm just waiting for something like tragic to happen for them to start like crying. And then I look at Kenma. Oh yes, I remember what happened because Kenma, he slipped. The ball was sweaty and he slipped the ball that he was supposed to like send back. And I was like, oh, okay, his hands are sweaty. And then the judges or like the sports announcers are like, yeah, sweaty ball, that happens, but geez. And then everybody's like, oh, what happened? Like he flubbed the ball. And I was like, damn, Kenma. So I was like, are they going to like wipe down the ball now? Like, are they going to make sure the court is all good? Like Hinata slipped on his own sweat at one point and they just like came and wiped everything up. So I'm like, are they just going to come wipe it up? Like what's going to go on? And then it was like, it's over. And I was like, what? Yes. That's what happened. It was something that I thought we were just going to like see and like learn from and like recover from and have them be like, Kenma, like, you're pushing yourself too hard. And then it was like, no, it's over. And I was like, fuck. Kenma fucked up the last receive of the game. You're telling me they lost because of some fucking sweat? Kenma's gotta be beating himself up right now. And Kuru just like flopped on the floor, just like exhaled. And everybody else just like was breathing. And then he looked over at Kenma. And Kenma was just sitting on the floor. And I was like, fuck. He's probably beating himself up right now. Like Iwa-chan was when they didn't end up going to like finals because he fucked up like the last... I don't know if it was the last spike or if he did something or he received it wrong and then that's what sent Oikawa like flying or no, Oikawa went flying and then he like got it to Iwa-chan. That's what he did. He set the ball and then went flying into the table and Iwa-chan went to go spike it and he didn't. I don't know if he didn't try his hardest or if he like fucked it up or if somebody was there or if it just didn't connect. It just didn't work out for him. But the way that he was blaming himself after that, I thought Kenma was going to end up doing that. And then Kenma just kind of flopped back and he was like, damn, that was so fun. And then everybody was just kind of like breathing heavy, And then Yaku started like laughing and I was like, oh my God, they're going to take the loss graciously. Somehow that's even worse. And then Kenma looked at Kuru while he's like laying on the floor and he was like, thank you for teaching me volleyball. And that's what got me because Kuru's eyes, that little watery twinge thing. And I was like, oh my God. They're taking the loss graciously. They're not going to sit here and fucking cry and curse Karasuno out because they're all buddies at the end of the day. They're chums. They're long distance friends, star-crossed lovers from across like the railroad. Across the railroad sounds bad. The train that you have to take to get from like Tokyo to Miyagi, like that's what I meant. They took the loss so graciously. I think Yamamoto maybe was a little upset. But when is he not? Obviously, the sisters up in the stands, they had tears in their eyes that they were upset. But it was like a gracious loss overall. And then they went to go talk to Nikamata. And he was like, obviously, there's things to talk about. But like at the end of the day, thank you very much for that match. Like, you guys played so well. And they really did. And then people started getting teary-eyed. And then, of course, fucking Kai had to come up and be like, thank you guys. The last 3 years are really enjoyable. And Kuru and Yaku were like, don't do this. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're being a jerk. And then they all, like, the third years, like, hugged. And then they were, like, walking away. And Yaku was like, can you guys, like, bend down? And he's literally, like, suspended in the air, like, hanging onto both of their shoulders. Like, it was cute. It was so fucking cute. And then they went to the net to, like, shake everybody's hands. And Yaku, like, shook Hinata's hand. And, like, Kuru and Daichi, they, like, did, like, the hug. And they hugged. I love those volleyball boys. Oh, my God. Fuck. It was such a good ending to a good movie. I'm very happy. I'm in a very happy place right now. I miss being such a heavy part of the HAIKYUU fandom. It feels good to be back. I don't think I'm completely over has-been, but HAIKYUU is consuming my every waking thought right now, and it's just going to get worse once I go lay down and consume fan fiction. I know it is. And then, you know, I had to stay for the end. Like, I watched through, like, the beginning credits because I knew, or, like, the credits, I knew something was going to go down. And then it was like, oh, you know, next match is going to be done really fast because the crowd favorites, you know, Itachiyama are playing. And I said, oh? Thought I was going to get a little peeky Kiyumi, you know, my baby. He's literally, like, up. He's literally right there. Right here in that general area. And Kuru's. Whoa, Kuru's right there. I thought I was going to get a little sneaky, and I just didn't. And that's fine. You know, that's okay. I did get Pigeon Boy, which I'm very upset about. And then I got some Kuru Daisho, you know, enemies to enemies kind of situation going on there. It was still giving very much like Alistair and Vox. You know, they just remind me so much of them. It was cute. And then he was like, welcome to like the loser side. And they were like, the fuck is wrong with this guy? To this day, I still don't like him. He seems like the kind of character that I would be into. And I'm just really not. I'm just really not feeling him. But that was my full like analysis. I can't believe I've sat here for this long talking about this, but I'm so very happy with how everything turned out. I missed my boys. I'm having a hard time like rewatching the whole show because I've seen HAIKYUU at least 7 times fully. So my brain is like, why are you trying to rewatch this when you already know everything that's going to happen? You can recite almost every single line from the dub. Why are you watching this again? You know what's going on. But the last time I read HAIKYUU fanfiction was maybe last August, because last August is when I got hooked on One Piece. And if I'm not hooked on something, I'm not reading fanfiction about it. Like 9 times out of 10, it's just not happening. So the last time I consumed a piece of HAIKYUU fanfiction was August of 2023. And I went back looking to like pick up where I left off on AO3. And I ended up having to go 84 pages deep to get back to the very last fan fiction that I read. And even then, the only fanfics that I was reading for like the past like 2 years, like 2023, they were like ship specific. Like I was really hooked on Iwoi and I was really hooked on Sakuatsu. So it was like any other the last time I read a Kuroken fic might have been sometime in like 2021. So I'm gonna really have to go back into the crevices and like I'm gonna be eating good for a really long time. But that was it. That's my analysis of the HAIKYUU Battle of the Dumpster movie. 10 out of 10. You're getting 10 out of 10 stars. From stars? Isn't it like out of 5 stars? 5 out of 5 stars. 10 out of 10 like number rating. I'm gonna go watch it again tomorrow. I was really tempted to go see the showing that was gonna happen like right after the one that I left, and I refrained because I wanted to come home and film this for you guys. So you're welcome. You're fucking welcome for this. But the chances of me going back to rewatch the movie in theaters again tomorrow are very high. I cannot wait until it's on like a streaming platform so I can just sit in the comfort of my own home and watch it because I hate going outside. But if it's for the sake of the HAIKYUU movie, I will do it. And I am going to cosplay a HAIKYUU character I didn't want to. And now that I've seen it, I'm going to do it. It's probably going to be Kenma. But I'm glad to be back in the fandom. I've missed you guys. I'm so glad to be back. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is like the longest video you're ever going to get from me, and if you made it all the way to the end, bravo to you because I was talking a lot. I love you guys so much. I will be putting out more HAIKYUU content for sure now that I'm like half hyper fixated on this. I don't know where this leaves Has-Been Hotel because I'm half hyper fixated on that still too. I don't know, but yeah. Let me know what you guys thought of the movie in the comments. Let me know like what you thought, what some of your analyses were, what you thought of mine. Like I want to know everything. My HAIKYUU babies. Right. I love you all though, and I will catch you in the next video. Later.